Morning, guys. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, March 9th, 2018. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the CEO of hillSTORY Marketing. And this is the Daily Mix TV. So, Toys R Us may liquidate its bankrupt U.S. operations, according to a story that broke on CNBC. The toy retailer, which filed for bankruptcy last September, has been struggling to restructure and reduce almost $5 billion in debt. Unfortunately, a weak holiday season has put those efforts in jeopardy. See, the challenge here for Toys R Us is that they are causing collateral damage across the sector. Toy makers Mattel and Hasbro have seen sales fall in the wake of that bankruptcy, and it's leading to more job losses. So let's take a step back and look at this in all sincerity. If Toys R Us, which accounts for 15% of the nation's toy sales, falls, that means that Mattel and Hasbro are going to have a serious problem regaining market share because their relationships aren't as deep or their traction isn't as deep in a place like Amazon or at Walmart and so on. So when you're dealing with Toys R Us as a potential bankruptcy, that's one thing. When you're dealing with it from a liquidation standpoint, that's a whole other ball of wax. They were counting on holiday sales to bail them out in helping to restructure some of that debt and reduce some of it. Unfortunately, the holiday season turned out to be very weak for them. Now, the challenge go forward is pretty straightforward. Right now, there is no hot toy trending. So that means that they've got to rely on either superhero or science fiction toy sales, because those are the two genres that are trending with respect to toys and licensed product right now. The issue at hand is Memorial Day is months away. And that's when the first series of films, usually those blockbuster films, breaks onto the silver screen, which means that at that time, that's when those toys come out. Now, the second part of that is they come out in the back half of the year around holiday season. So you drive holiday toy sales through licensed product. So it makes sense. But the issue at hand really becomes, can they survive? You know, the other challenge we're going to have is between the White House's tariff and the potential trade war that it's causing, you're going to have some challenges with the Chinese market right now in terms of manufacturing and, frankly, raising costs on the United States, which might bring up those toy costs significantly, which means sales will not recover the way that Toys R Us needs it to. So we'll keep an eye on it for you, but I really do hope that Jeffrey the Giraffe stands tall and doesn't fall anytime soon. Weight Watchers is joining the meal kit craze. You just can't make this crap up. You know, the meal kit sector is a $2.5 billion industry. And right now, Weight Watchers is actually going to be jumping into the pond with companies like Walmart and Albertsons, which launched their own meal kit programs recently. Now, the meal kit market could grow year over year as much as 20%. But the question I really have is this a Me Too effort by Weight Watchers? And I don't mean from a feminist perspective. I mean from a also-ran perspective. Everybody is jumping on this bandwagon, and there's only so much money to go around, guys. So Weight Watchers, which already has some experience in the food industry, having sold its own branded food, you know, it's typically in the frozen section, and it's got the points on the back that you deduct from your plan and crap like that. The challenge that I really have with this effort is that Blue Apron, when Weight Watchers announced this yesterday, Blue Apron's shares started to drop. Now, several of the other big dogs in this space are having sales challenges right now. So are you getting into a segment too late is the question that I would have for Weight Watchers, and only time will tell, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. Now, how many of you guys remember this? Well, fans, there is some good news for you on the horizon. Apparently, New Line is now developing a prequel to the hit show Sopranos in the form of a movie. Considered one of the most groundbreaking television series of all time, the show ran for 6 seasons on HBO from 1999 to 2007. Its numerous accolades include 21 Emmy Awards and 5 Golden Globes. Now, David Chase, who created The Sopranos, has written the script already, and it's aptly titled The Many Saints of Newark. Now, look, while I loved James Gandolfini and this show, its time has long since passed, especially since Gandolfini died about 5 years ago. So here's where I have a real issue. Why can't we just come up with new stories, new characters, new shows? I mean, this constant knee-jerk reaction, and I've said this a million times, to reboot everything just makes entertainment less entertaining. Hollywood just cannot seem to get the message despite abysmal ratings on TV and losses at the box office. You know, for an industry that's notorious for creativity and the ability to drive the imagination, Tinseltown sure is looking rather tired right now. Now, I hope I'm wrong and that this turns into a great movie because I'm a big fan of the franchise, but my gut tells me we're in for a dud. You simply cannot keep rehashing old series movies and content by slapping a new coat of paint on it. So as an example, let's look at the Ghostbusters franchise. You know, children of the 70s and 80s were massive fans of Ghostbusters. You know, for the time period that it was written, for the time period that it came out, it was perfect. It was everything that the 80s was. So when they tried to reboot the franchise last year with an all-female cast, it just fell flat. First of all, you know, you can't keep taking these series and these properties, movies, TV shows, whatever it is, and rebooting it in today's world. Often you have to force that character alignment into what's going on in pop culture today, and that doesn't work, which is why many of these reboots fail. So I'm hoping that I'm wrong with respect to this prequel. My gut tells me I'm not, but as I said before, only time will tell. So last night, my wife Kylie and I were at Bite a Wee on 38th Street off of First Avenue in Manhattan. For our charity, Rock 'em Rawhide, which helps to increase the level of adoptions of dogs and cats in shelters, Kylie came up with a brilliant idea for a photo series called Look at What the Dog and Cat Dragged In, featuring drag queens and kings in their glittery glory with fluffy and scruffy friends alike who need loving and responsible homes. Now, every month, we're going to go to a different shelter or rescue to promote their populations for adoption with the help of some of our incredible drag friends in the LGBTQ community. Quote, it just made sense to team up with our LGBTQ friends, not just because drag performers look utterly fabulous and fun, which makes for a great photo, but because they too have issues with society prejudging them. Both homeless pets and the LGBTQ community have high statistics of abuse, fear, preconceptions, and misunderstanding. The LGBTQ community is one of the most loving and giving communities we know. It was a perfect match, said my wife, Kylie Edmond, co-founder of Rock 'em Rawhide. Now, here's a promo video we shot last month at Rock Bar in Manhattan. Special thanks to our friends at Kaleidoscope Collaborations for curating the drag queens and kings on this one, as well as to Witty Repartee, Bella Noche, Jesse James, who's photographing the series, for helping us to mount this effort. You guys are awesome. We absolutely love you, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing to help our forever friends. Have a great day, guys. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the CEO of hillSTORY Marketing. I'm also the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.